All right, everyone, here I am on my ALEKS home screen. Some of you might be seeing the timeline right now, which is fine. I personally like seeing the ALEKS pie. I like to see the colors fill in as I complete topics, and it kind of gives me a better idea of, what percent of the material do I know? How am I doing? Have I been increasing? That kind of stuff. But both systems show the information, so it's really up to you. It's your home screen. But besides that, I had a few components of ALEKS that I would like to share with you so that you understand how it works and what I'm grading and some things that you can do. So let's start with the path. A lot of people have been asking about the ALEKS pathway and can I start my path or can I continue my path? Am I allowed? Will I get credit? So let's answer some of those. Starting your path in ALEKS will just continue you on where you left off from the knowledge check. So now that ALEKS has a better idea of the things that you're good at and the things that you still need help with, it has now personalized a pathway for you to continue in the ALEKS program. Okay, so while I'm not giving points in Schoology necessarily for you completing these pathway topics, I do think that it is important that you are continuing on this ALEKS pathway because ultimately my goal as your teacher is that you leave my class a better math student, and ALEKS is a great way to do that. The percent in ALEKS that you have now, it's worth it to see your percent going up as you progress through this curriculum. And I think it's worth us talking about maybe getting some points, some sort of reward for increasing your pi percentage, because I do think that it's worth a reward for you to continue with this pi percentage. So let's look at what the pathway looks like for a second. I'm going to pick a topic that I haven't seen yet. So for example, let's do quotient rule of exponents. So I'm doing this video for all my classes. Right now I'm looking at Algebra 1 as I mentioned, but of course this applies to my pre-calculus classes because the format is the same. The topics might not be, but the format definitely is. So every time I'm starting a new topic, ALEKS is going to give me this explanation. Try not to skip the explanation, okay? I really want you guys to take some time to read through it, understand it. Occasionally, ALEKS comes with some videos that might be a little more explicit with how these things work. Okay, they'll have a video, watch it. Here's a teacher, he's going through this example. But the videos are sometimes helpful. Not all topics have them, but if you can get a hold of them, they're great. And then you have an answer down here. You can get a little bit more about that answer. For example, this one's showing me that there's actually a rule for exponent properties that just subtracts those exponents. So it's very thorough in the things that it provides for you as far as explanations of topics. And when you're ready, you can go ahead and click start. Now, to start my ALEKS, there's a few things that you should be aware of. Up here at the top, there is a progress bar. And this progress bar keeps track of how well you're doing. So let's go ahead and answer this one. And I'm going to answer this one correctly. I'm going to check. And notice that I get a whole lot of green when I'm correct, right? I've got this bubble that tells me I'm correct. It's got a green bubble down here that tells me I can move on. And up here in my progress bar, I got a little bit of this bar colored in because I got this one correct. So it encourages me to keep going. It tells me I did an excellent job. For this one, I'm going to answer this one correct as well. Okay, so I'm going to check it. And again, I get a lot of green, but if you noticed up here at this progress bar, I got 2 in a row. And so getting 2 in a row back to back is double credit. ALEKS is based off of what you can get correct and how often you can get those things correct. So if you can get things correct in a row, ALEKS has a good idea of what you're capable of, and it kind of understands that, okay, this person knows what they're talking about. Okay, now, watch what happens if I get one wrong. Okay, so let's do y to the 5th. Oh no, so I see a little bit of red here. Okay, it asks me to try again. It doesn't just tell me that I'm wrong, which is kind of nice of ALEKS. Okay, it asked me to try again. Notice that it did take away one of my green blocks here, which took away from my progress a little bit. I kind of lost my streak also, for those of you who know what that means when I say I got a streak going, I lost my streak. Let's say I'm totally stuck. I can go ahead and click down here for explanation. Okay, and the explanation is going to tell me how I could have solved that problem. Okay, if I didn't want to try again, sometimes it's just a little mistake typing in and you can try again and you get it right the second time. But for some of us, we just need that explanation because we really don't know what we should have done here. And I forgot that there's a Y at the top here, so I should have done this. My answer should have been here. And so now that I get it, I can go to more practice and it'll give me a fresh problem. Okay, so that's a little bit about how the ALEKS pathway works. One other thing that I think is important for us to know is sometimes working on the same topic for a really long time can get pretty stressful, especially when we keep getting them wrong and then right and then right and then wrong, and we can't ever get the 3 in a row that we need to move on. So there's a little arrow up here at the top that I can click on, and it gives me all the topics that I have access to on my path right now. So ALEKS is very flexible. So let's say, I'm having trouble with this exponent stuff. I didn't even learn this yet in Algebra 1. But you know what I did learn? I did learn functions and lines. So we can go over to functions and lines and input, output. Those are words that I'm familiar with because I learned them in Algebra 1. So I can go through and read this explanation, look at the answers, trying to make up expressions for patterns, and I can start this one instead. Notice that the progress bar is fresh, and I can try this one now just to give me something else to do, build up my confidence, do a topic that's a little more familiar for me, and not get so bogged down or stressed by one topic in particular. So ALEKS is nice like that. It does have a little bit of flexibility, and it just takes you to another topic that they think maybe you're capable of this one. Okay, and again, everything that you do, they're kind of color-coded to your pie chart. Everything that you do continues to help fill in these little sections of your pie, and the fuller the pie, the better. You get certificates when you're complete with that. That can go in your portfolios for those of you who are still working on your senior portfolios. Lots of great things can come from ALEKS, especially the building of your math knowledge. So take the time, seize this opportunity, work on your ALEKS pathway whenever you get the chance, okay? Especially for those of you who are early finishers, you knock out your homework really quickly and then you're done with math for the day. Go ahead and start that path, see how far you can go. I'd be really interested to see who can get the highest or who can have the biggest improvement, I should say, because really that's what we're looking for, improvement. Okay, but let's talk about Schoology points now. That's where a lot of us are interested in. We need points on Schoology in our classworks and homeworks. And when I go to Schoology, I notice that here at the bottom, I have homework number 7, and it says Intro to Systems of Linear Equations for my Algebra 1 class. For pre-calculus, you guys see Intro to Exponential Functions. Your assignments are still posted in Schoology. Okay, and all your scores are still going to go into Schoology. Schoology is the hub, the main hub for all grading and all credit and everything that we need to do for school. ALEKS is just the place where you'll actually be able to submit the assignments. Okay, so you don't need to come back here and submit. This is just information. So homework 7, I see ALEKS here at the bottom, so that tells me, okay, I've got to click on McGraw-Hill, and I've got to go to my ALEKS page and work on my homework. Okay, and when you're at ALEKS, your ALEKS homepage, you'll see homework down here on the left, and I can click on that. Now, when I click on that, it's going to give me a little bit of information. First of all, it's telling me when it's due. Different classes have different due dates, of course, because we have our odd days and even days. This one's period 3, so there's my due date. It tells me I have unlimited attempts. Okay, I'm going to continue giving you guys unlimited chances at your homework because my goal is for you to become masters at the material. So if that takes you 2 tries, if it takes you 10 tries, it doesn't matter. I just want you to master it. So it's going to make no difference on your score how many attempts you make. My ultimate goal is for you to get 100%, which means you've mastered that homework. Okay, because of course, mastering the homework means that you're ready to move on to new stuff, and you'll have a firmer foundation for that. Okay, so unlimited attempts. We've got 5 questions for this particular homework. My policy is to take your best score, so don't ever worry about your score going down if you try again and do worse. That rarely happens anyway. And notice there's one more thing here. You guys are going to start getting a 5% penalty if assignments are late. Okay, and the reason I'm doing this is, in case you didn't already know or you missed my message, administration is now holding us teachers responsible for letting them know when students are not completing assignments. Okay, especially since you're not in class anymore, we need to make sure that you're keeping up with the material. So if you're not turning in things on time, then we need to report your names to administration so that they can call home and ultimately make sure you're okay. Right now is kind of a scary time, and if you're not completing assignments, we want to make sure everything's okay at home. So please, if you are the person who kind of submits things late perpetually, try to stop doing that. Okay, we're gonna start getting a penalty for having late assignments. And I want you to start getting used to having due dates, having deadlines, and meeting those. Okay, it's a great student habit to have, and if you don't already have it, we're gonna start now being on time. Okay. So once I get all the info for my homework, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start the homework. And notice up here it says I've got 3 attempts at this question. So if I type something in and it's wrong the first time, it's not a huge deal. Okay, I can try 2 more times. If I don't get it in all 3 times, they're gonna mark that problem wrong. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and type in this equation, and then they asked me to graph it. So I've got a -2y intercept, -3 slope. I'm going to check that. Got a bunch of green going, a green check on the number, green correct. So far, so good. So I'm going to go ahead, not submit assignment. That would submit the whole thing, and I only got 1 right. So I want to go ahead and continue. If I see number 2 and I don't like number 2 because it looks hard, I can go ahead and skip to number 3. Okay. I'm answering some questions about systems of equations. Okay, so let's say I'm gonna go ahead and answer this one. Okay, got that one right. Let's go ahead and do this one. -3, +2, and my slope is 3/2. Okay, and then 4 and 5, I'm gonna get wrong. Okay, of course, I'm getting these wrong on purpose. Okay, gave me partial credit. Moving on to 5, that one's yellow because I didn't get it wrong, but I didn't get full credit either. I'm gonna get, let's see, let's go ahead and get this one wrong. Okay, so I'm just putting in problems here so you can see what happens. Again, got this one wrong. Okay, and then I'm done with my assignment, so I'm gonna go ahead and submit. Okay, and I got a 67%. What that means is, in Mrs. Martin's Schoology book, you're gonna get a 6.7 out of 10 on this homework. It's not terrible, could definitely be better. So what ALEKS does, which I like much better than the math program that we were using in class, whose name I will not mention in this video, because it's still a good program. It's just I like this better. I can do a quick retake, okay? And what a quick retake does is it's only going to ask me for question 4 and 5, the ones I got wrong. So it's not going to give me a hard time about 1, 2, and 3. I got those right already. It figures, okay, you know what you're talking about for 1, 2, and 3. 4 and 5 are the ones you need help on. So I can come back here to 4 and 5. I can look at my notes. I can look at an example over here on the right. I can ask for an explanation. Okay, there's a lot of things that we can click on to get some support on this homework. And then once I see some explanations, I understand what I did wrong, I can try a new one until I get the homework correct. Okay, so ultimately, My goal is for you to get 100% on your homework, okay? And take as many chances as you need to do that. It is not my intention for you guys to stick with the percent that you already got, okay? As you get the other two correct, it will add points. See, it took some off because I didn't finish number 5, but it'll add points to my overall percentage, and my grade book will show your best score. So if you get 4 and 5 correct, it'll add those points to the 60%, and you'll have 100% on the homework. That's a 10 out of 10. So this is a really awesome opportunity here. You don't have to do the whole homework over again. You just get to spend some real quality time trying to fix any misconceptions or misunderstandings about the ones you got wrong. Okay, and I know I keep repeating that, and I'm sorry if I sound like a broken record, but that's just how important I think it is. I think it's really powerful, this capacity of ALEKS, and the fact that you can do this and get 100% on your homeworks and earn those 100% on your homeworks, and just work until you get it right. So please take this opportunity, do the quick retakes until you get 100% on your homework, and I will input those into Schoology the day after your things are due. Okay, I'll give you guys that chance to finish up to that evening. All right, so with that, I think that's pretty much all your classes really need to know about the ALEKS program. So eventually you will take a quiz through ALEKS, and I'll put up another tutorial with just a little bit of information about how the quizzes work. But for now, for our learning process, focus on your homeworks and take some time to continue your ALEKS path so you can continue building and filling in this ALEKS pie chart. Just another reminder, if you have any questions or comments, suggestions, please post them in your Schoology discussion for the date of this video, 3/24. I really look forward to reading those. I read each and every single one, and that way I can make adaptations to these Schoology videos. I mean, at this point, we're going to be YouTube famous with all these online tutorials and lectures, but any suggestions would be really appreciated, because at the end of the day, we're trying to make these lectures online as helpful as possible. So if I'm missing anything, please feel free to let me know that so I can include that, and you can feel more prepared as we continue on in this online schooling. Other than that, I hope you guys are doing great. I miss seeing you all in person very much. I highly suggest you make the time to meet us on Zoom when we have the opportunities to do so. It's really helped us get the chance not only to say hi to each other and reconnect, but also to ask questions in person. So try to make some time to do that. I hope you guys are completing your assignments, and I look forward to seeing more of your work. Take care.